Hey everybody, let me get this out of the way. This is going to be a quick tutorial to show y'all how to customize the Fcom local militia template mod that I recently released. So this is mostly going to cover what I went over in the text document, but in a lot greater detail. And we'll also get into some extra stuff as well as a few tips and tricks on how to use Xedit or Fallout 4 edit, whichever one you want to call it. So I guess let's get started here. First off, I use Mod Organizer too. If you're going to be a power user, you're going to do a lot of modding, you want to do a lot of customization, you want full control over your load order, I would highly suggest switching to MO2 and figuring it out. It's not too hard, but it is more difficult than Vortex to get to work right out of the box. But once you do get it to work, some of the other systems are a lot easier to deal with than Vortex, or at least it was for me. But if you're on Vortex or something else, I guess you'll have to find some other tutorial to help you get to the starting point of firing up FO4 edit with the mods and everything. But this tutorial is going to specifically be for the mod organizer people, I guess. If you want to do every single thing I'm doing, you'll need mod organizer. So anyway, without any further blabbing, let's get right into it. So ignore all this other extra stuff I've got activated. I just need these mods to get my Fallout 4 to work right normally. So let's see here. We start off by activating Fcom. You want that to be at the top. And then next you're going to want to activate any armor or weapon mods that you're planning on using. For this tutorial, we're going to use the Nexus PMC and the service rifle mod. It's to ignore the names and all the weirdness I got going on here. This is a work in progress mod organizer setup. I'm in the middle of building something interesting, but so do that, and then last activate my mod, which will be the Fcom local militia here. Let me double check, make sure this is the right version. It is not. Give me just a second here. Alright, so with the right one activated, should be a Fcom local militia custom. Fire up your FO4 edit, and we'll get into doing some modifications here. So whenever you're greeted with the opening screen, all of your mods will be active over here. So just go ahead and right click, select none, select only what you need to keep the screen from being too convoluted and covered in stuff. So we want Fcom, we want our armor, our weapons, and our custom mod, then hit OK. Now, if this is the first time you're opening Fallout 4 edit, this particular step may take a few seconds or a minute or two. You need to wait until all the references are done being built and loaded in. And then once everything's done, you'll be able to start. So the first thing you'll do, click on this mod here, right click, and go down to Add Masters. Now, if you only have the necessary mods active, then basically you're going to want to check everything in this list. But pretty much make sure any armor or weapon mods you want to use are selected as masters and hit OK. So what this does is allows you to use things from these mods in this mod in this mod will now require these mods in order to load and function. So we'll start off with the weapons here. So to find the custom level list for the weapons, you'll go to level item, hit the plus drop down here. Now you could ignore these three for now. I will explain what they do later, but for now just ignore these and ignore this for now. We're going to start off with auto rifleman's level list. So the templates are named after the unit whose weapon you're changing. So we're going to be setting up the auto rifleman here with a better rifle. So you'll go to the weapon mod of choice, hit the plus so that it drops down. Weapon will always be at the bottom. So hit the drop down next to weapon, and here are the weapons that are available in this mod. See, these are the two kinds of service rifle, and the rest of these are the uniques. But it doesn't really matter what we select, so let's do service rifle. Then here on the right is your edit screen. So the first thing you'll want to do, come up here and hit the plus next to record header, and then come down here to form ID. Now come over here to the box beside form ID, double click it. You'll get this pop-up here. This is sort of a safety to keep you from accidentally editing or messing anything up, but it still lets you copy the text as needed. So just hit copy. Sometimes I hit it 2 or 3 times just to make sure it actually worked, because sometimes it doesn't. And then hit close. Then come back to your auto rifleman level list template. Then we'll come over here to level list entries. So this is the main, I guess you would call it entry header here. This has all the other entries underneath it. So you'll come down here to your first entry, hit the plus, and it'll drop down this. So this is the actual data for the entry. It gives you the level that this weapon will start spawning at, which is level 1. Your first entry always needs to be level 1, or your troops could spawn without any weapons. And then the next is reference, and reference is the actual item called. Now what we'll do here is right click in this box, hit edit, it will bring up this. Then we want to right click and paste, or control V, which is what I will be doing from now on. So if I say to paste something and you don't see me right click paste, I used control V. It will save your mouse many thousands of clicks over the lifetime of modding Fallout 4 if you're going to go down this route. So as you can see, it changed the value to our service rifle. We hit OK, and bingo. We can now collapse this, and we have a level list entry of the service rifle for our auto rifleman. So that's how you change the weapons for these level lists. Now, in this example, for time, I'm not going to go through and change every single one of these necessarily, but I will show you a quick trick here in a second. But basically, just repeat this same process for any weapons mods and then that you have, and then you can paste them into any one of these level lists here. So next tip, if you want more than one weapon to be an option, come up here in the header and right click, hit add level list entry, and this will give you a new blank entry. So what we're going to do is come up here and say, let's pick this one, this unique. We'll do the same, double click, copy, then we'll come back. We'll open our new blank level list entry. We need to set the level we want it to spawn at. So for this example, I'm going to set it at 1. We're going to paste our reference. And then we need to come down here to count. Where it says 0, you need this to always say 1. There's not really any reason to make it any higher than 1, but it has to be at least 1 or it won't spawn. And then the last thing, chance none. I'm not really 100% sure how this works. I've never used it, so just leave that alone at 0. So now what you'll see is we have two level list options. So the auto rifleman will spawn with a service rifle or this unique service rifle at basically at random. So say if we want all low level or all of our units while we are low level to spawn with this service rifle, and then once we get high level we want them to spawn with the unique rifle, you come in here and say, let's say at level 25 we want them to start spawning with this rifle. So that now at level 25 they'll have a chance to spawn with the this rifle. So that's how that works. If you want it to just be a random selection with equal chance, set them all to level 1. If you want an ascending sort of upgrade path, you can set ascending levels for all the different weapons that you choose to put in these lists. And there's pretty much no limit to how many weapons you can put in these lists. So, like, go ham. You can put all the modded weapons in them if you want to. But one more tip and trick, not necessarily to help with this um project we're doing right here, but just in a tip with Fallout Fallout 4 edit in general. Say I want all of these level lists to be the exact same. I want them all to be this, but I don't want to have to sit here and manually change this, add a new entry, do all that again. What you do is click on your first, say I want this to be copied to all the rest. Click on this, hold Control on your keyboard, select all the other lists that you want to copy to. What this does is opens all of these lists in parallel, basically, where you can edit each one of them. So something cool you can do, you can drag entries across to add them to another form, or you can just go right here, level list entries, drag the entire group across. That will copy everything under it. And if you don't want to sit here and manually do all of that, right click, copy to selected records, and then hit OK, and it will automatically copy to all of them. This would have saved me hundreds of hours if I would have known this when I first started modding Fallout 4. So it's a pretty handy little trick. But alright, so we've got weapons handled. Go ahead and close this. So next is armor. Armor is slightly different, but not that different. So to find the armor, we'll go down here to outfits. Now these outfit templates are labeled for who they go to, but one thing you should know is the volunteer outfit. Obviously the volunteer NPC will spawn with that, but also the militia supply Brahmin escort will also use the volunteer outfit. You don't really see that unit very often, and it's like not a commandable unit. Whenever you call for supply drops, this unit will basically be the escort that you meet to get your stuff from, and then they disappear. So just to kind of make sure they match with the rest of your selections, they will wear the volunteer's outfit. So just a note. So what we'll do, if you notice the over here on the right, we have items. Now everything in this item drop down here will be part of the outfit. Just so that wasn't blank, I have the level list for the resident clothes in this slot. You can just use level list as an item for outfits, but we will be directly putting the outfits items into this form here just to make this a little simpler today. But just know you can use level list. You could also change this to any of the vanilla clothing level lists. Say if I wanted this to be mercenary clothing. Let me see. Let's see if I can guess any of these here. Well, let's see. Say armor. We want them to wear combat armor or whatever. So you can change this to whatever you want. But so for this example, we'll go to our Nexus PMC and you'll look for armor. It's usually at the very top. Pretty easy to find. Then, depending on what mod you're using, there may be multiple pieces. It may be an all-in-one outfit. It might have incompatible pieces. That's kind of hard to determine with Xedit. But if you already know the outfit and the pieces you're wanting to use, it's not that hard to just do what I'm about to do here. So say we want our unit to wear the PMC operator outfit. So just like the weapons, we go record header, form ID, double click, copy, and then go back to our outfit. Then we'll just go here to item, control paste, and there we go. We got our operator outfit. So right now they're going to spawn wearing just an outfit, but if we want them to spawn with a helmet and with gloves, all we have to do is right click up here next to the items sorted, hit add. This adds a new blank entry, and we come up here to say this helmet, double click copy, go back to our form. If you don't want to right click, hit edit, you can double click, and it sometimes though it gives you this menu which you can accidentally be like, oops, I accidentally clicked the wrong one. So that's why it's easier to right click and hit edit if you're not real familiar with what you're doing yet. But once you get to the point where you're trying to be quicker, more efficient, you'll want to do it this other way. Another thing you can do, so let's get another blank reference. Say, I already have this copied, or the helmet copied. Instead of having to scroll back up and find gloves, what we could do is right click, paste this, and then look through this list. This is a bad example because the armor naming scheme is not uniform. So say we know gloves shares a form ID header with this outfit here. So let's say drag that down. You can double click, hit this drop down, and now say, look, there's gloves. So rather than have to go back and forth from this up here, hitting record header copy, back down here to this, if they named everything correctly, where all of the outfit pieces have the same beginning to their IDs, then you can just right click paste, paste like outfit 3 times, and then double click, use the drop down menu like this here, and then find the other pieces, and it'll save you a little bit of time. But it always depends on if the mod authors set their mods up correctly. And unfortunately, the Nexus PMC was not named very good. That they probably should have put their name, this title, as like the first thing in the list, so that way the IDs stay uniform. But that's just a modding best practice thing to do. Say I'm Little Wolf 99, so everything I do is started prefaced with LW 99. It's really good to like pick like a 3 or 4 letter sort of title or something that you can do that with, so that way when you're working on your own mods or other people are working with your mods, it just makes it a lot easier to have all of your things stay grouped up by alphabetical order. But so there we have our outfit. Now, once again, just for demonstration purposes, we're going to select this, hit Control, select all the rest of our outfits, and then right-click, copy to selected records. Okay, and now all of our units are wearing these PMC outfits now. So cool. Pretty much, if all you want to do is change the armor and weapons that your units use, you're good. You can click off the video now if you've made your edits while watching this and go play with your new custom Fcom faction that you edited and created. And I don't know if this is made clearer on the mod page or not, but if you make edits to this or whatever, this mod, feel 100% free to post it on the Nexus. Um, it would probably be a good idea to rename the ESP just so it's not the exact same as mine, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care. You can only use one of these at a time anyway, so it's not like you could run mine and somebody else's custom one. But yeah, the only thing I ask is if you'll give me credit or whatever would be great. If you don't remember to or you don't, it's fine. It's whatever. Um, this is a free resource basically for anybody to get and modify and re-release, make your own custom factions. So yeah, uh, pretty much enjoy. But if that's not quite enough for you, and you're interested in going a little bit deeper on this subject, if you want to stick around, I'll show you a few more tips and tricks. The first of which is going to be something I touched on in the text document, which is, say, if we wanted to change this heavy unit to an actual heavy unit, put him in some power armor. What you're going to want to do first is, for my own sanity, I collapse everything back when I start a new task. You'll want to go to the level item again, and we're going to interact with this level list power armor. So this right here is basically the armor pieces of the power armor. You need to make sure you have one of each kind, and you can change these to whichever power armor you prefer. I think it's just using the normal Fcom's Minutemen power armor as placeholders. But basically, any power armor, modded or vanilla, you just put the power armor pieces you want here, and you don't have to do anything else. You put your power armor pieces here, power armor set up. Next thing you do is close this and go to furniture. This is kind of funny, and it took me a while to figure out how to do this because the power armor is under furniture, which is just strange to me. But anyway, you got your power armor furniture. This is already set up, should be. Yeah, so it uses the power armor template level list, and it also has the fusion core, so you don't have to put the fusion core in your level list. It will already have one for your troops to use. So we'll come up here, record header, just like normal, form ID, double click, copy, and then go to non-player character actor. Then we will select who is going to be our power armor unit. I'm just going to use the heavy since that makes sense. So since these are overrides to vanilla Fcom, or not vanilla, to Fcom's forms, when you click on them, you will see both the Fcom form and my overridden form and the changes that I made. If you are confused or this causes too much extra visual clutter, which it does for me, right click up here, hit hide on the Fcom panel. That gets rid of Fcoms. It's not important. It's being overridden by this anyway. So now here we are on our Militia Heavy form. This is for the actual NPC. So to find where we want to put the power armor, easiest thing to do is grab the slider, go to the very bottom, and it's right here. Power armor stand. Right click, hit add. Right click, hit edit. Copy paste. And just like that, this unit is now a power armor unit. So yeah. So you have a power armor unit. Next thing you might want to do, this will be even more advanced. Say, since this is a power armor unit, I want to change the name that that my unit spawns with, and you can change this name to anything. Just know some of these units will spawn with the Fcom's like private, sergeant, lieutenant. They're like automatically updating what you call it, rank, basically. So that's why this is like just militia, because it'll say militia private, militia lieutenant, militia captain, whatever. So we'll rename this guy Militia Heavy. So then his name would appear as Militia Heavy Private, Militia Heavy Lieutenant, whatever you want it to be. You can change these names to whatever you want, just like this right here. You just look for name, and that changes your faction unit's name. But say you didn't want this guy to be militia heavy private, militia heavy lieutenant, whatever. You didn't want the ranks. The way you get rid of that is you go all the way up here. Where is it? Factions. Where it says factions, look for this Fcom military enlisted ranks faction and simply remove it. That's all you have to do. And now his name will just be Militia Heavy. It won't have any rank or anything else attached to it. So that's how you can get rid of that if you want to name your units and you don't want them to have the rank attached to that. It won't affect anything else, it just doesn't change their name. So the next thing you might want to do, depending on what you're planning on doing with your militia, is you could also remove them from the Minutemen faction. I left them in the Minutemen faction since they're supposed to be sort of like your settlement militia army, sort of like a like reserves sort of to your Minutemen. If you don't have enough command points for more Minutemen, you could spend caps on local militia. So that's sort of the idea behind it. But you can remove that and turn these guys into like death troopers and wipe settlements out with them if you wanted to. Customization is limitless. And you can use what I'm teaching you here to basically take the Fcom mod and just completely make it a new faction overhaul, just like I did. Basically, you just go in here and start renaming stuff, no problem. You can even use my mod as a template, an overarching template if you'd like to. Just change all the names, whatever you want to do, and there you go. Make you a new Fcom faction, any kind. I have several Fcom faction overhauls on the Nexus, I do believe. So anyway, see, what else would you possibly need to know? Oh, say this is a heavy now, so we want to make his price reflect that. The way to change the prices in Fcom, you want to come to Quest, I do believe, Militia Reinforcements, and then say, here you go. This is Militia Heavy, and the this right here, this integer 32, whatever it's called, this is the cost. So you could hit this drop down and say let's make him cost 500 caps now since he's a power armor unit. So there you go. That's how you change the prices. And you can change their prices to anything you want. But the deal is, when you go to the menu, it's still going to say 250 caps. So something else you may want to change is right here where it says messages. The factions, militia units. We'll come down here to where it says Militia Heavy. Right click, edit, and change this to 500 caps. So now, if you forgot how much you changed the value to, or you release your mod and you need other people to know how much they cost, that's how you do it. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably enough information to get most of what you need done to basically completely convert this into a different faction for your own personal use. So yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me a message on the Nexus or drop a comment on the video. I will try to reply to it, but the Nexus mod page would be the easiest way and the quickest way to get a hold of me. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope this helps you customize your game to your liking. And catch you in the next one. Happy modding, y'all.